You would know that Angel Reese has just been suspended for the entire season and fined over $1.2 million for what she just did, as she was caught saying the Z word on live.
Caitlin Clark, she will be missing Friday's game due to her continued groin injury, and Angel Reese has been suspended for Friday's game after getting assessed a technical foul Wednesday night for pimp slapping Aaliyah Edwards.
Due to Angel Reese's suspension, she will not even play when her Chicago Sky team plays the Indiana Fever. The timing is cruel. She made headlines by criticizing teammates, but as soon as the situation became too intense, she started to retreat. Now, skipping this intense matchup will only make things worse. Was this really a rookie error that got out of hand? Or is Angel already bearing the consequences of her own statements? This narrative simply became jumbled.
Angel Reese receives her 8th tech, which will prohibit her from playing against the Indiana Fever. And 2, she's in some pretty hot water with her teammates about the Chicago Tribune article.
Kathy Engelbert believed she had figured out the secret. She was likely drawing WNBA logos on a board while she sat in her commissioner chair, napkin, and determined that forcing spectators to watch a 5-game Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky battle was the greatest way to make the league famous. Who wouldn't want to watch the same game 5 times in a single season? Forget variation and balance. On cable TV, Kathy threw herself into reruns like this was Friend.
Engelbert tried to rig the cards in the WNBA's favor by having the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky go head-to-head 5 times this season. Unfortunately for Kathy Engelbert, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will only be going head-to-head 1 of those 5 times, and that time has come.
Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese's The Selling Pitch.
The competition that was meant to keep women's basketball alive, promoted like a heavyweight bout and displayed everywhere. Here's the twist in the story, though. The 2 stars only faced up against each other once in 5 games, that's all. For as long as your favorite Netflix series has been in production, Caitlin Clark's groin has been listed as hurt. Additionally, Angel Reese has been suspended so much that you would believe the WNBA gave her a chair for personal timeouts. Angelbert produced a poor sequel rather than a rivalry. The Titanic 2 continues to sink.
How did that happen? How did we get here? What she just said, the national championship game. We were not talking about Caitlin Clark before Angel Reese walked up to her, did this.
Lads, Angel Reese is currently about to be suspended. She has 7 technical fouls on the season. And if this was last season, in a 44-game season, she would have already been suspended. She would have already been suspended. And it is genuinely one of the funny things about this is that her fans are arguing that none of the techs are warranted. They are all warranted.
And why didn't Angel Reese attend the game on Friday night? Yes, only her temporary suspension following her decision to let loose Aaliyah Edwards was given a spinning backhand as if she were trying out for a UFC contract.
4G placement and 4G boxing out. Angel unleashed his inner Mortal Kombat.
It wasn't even a slap in the front. She used the backhand instead. The most inconsiderate action in human history.
It goes beyond simple interaction.
Centuries of attitude condensed into a single wrist flick.
She packed her up, bro. She low-key packed her up. It was so sly. Oh, shoot. Dang, Angel. Man, this is horrible timing if she get this 8th technical. I think they're going to give her a technical. Getting suspended for a game after what she said about her team basically being trash and needing new players, man. Yeah, that's a tech. Dang. So she's going to be suspended. This is all just bad timing, bro. Bad timing.
Her head. That's right. Angel Reese didn't use the front of her hand. Angel Reese went with the back of her hand and bow right across Aaliyah Edwards' head.
Naturally, the heated argument began. Was it deliberate?
Was it malevolent?
Was Aaliyah struggling? Please, you missed it if you blinked. However, the form, wind-up, and torque were visible if you paused the tape. It wasn't an error. It was a lesson in geometry. Aaliyah's face was perfectly arced by Angel's arm, which functioned as a compass.
Tell you when I picked my phone up and I looked at all of these damn alerts. I say, hold up, wait a minute. It is looking spooky. Angel Reese got suspended. Angel Reese threw her team under the bus. When the hell did this?
And acknowledge where credit is due. It was sold by Aaliyah Edwards. She slid down, holding her head like Zeus himself had just hit her Oscar-worthy. People pretended that she had been thrust into a different era. Aaliyah sold it, but in reality, she hasn't been slapped like that since she was 5 years old and was scattering flour on the kitchen floor. Angel Reese received her 9th after the referees purchased it, Technical of the Year, so take pleasure in your suspension, Angel. However, the slap was only one part of the Angel story. Reese drama series since she uses insults instead of backhands when she's not giving them. On comedy night, Angel has been pacing her own locker room like a roast master. A leader is not Rachel Bannum. For this league, Hailey Vanleth is not prepared.
9:30 are the Chicago Sky Times.
30 loses, 9 victories. That is a warning story, not a season. Angel, who is sinking at the bottom of the rankings, is demanding greatness while gazing around the locker room as if she is above everything. It's similar to the Burger King fry cook requesting a Michelin star for remembering to salt the fry.
Leah Edwards is a lot of bucket.
The Moonwalk follows.
2 days following her public torching of her comrades, Angel began turning around more quickly than a child who is aware that they are going to be grounded. Her statement was abruptly taken out of context. She abruptly changed her meaning. She offered a private apology. She adores her teammates. Traditional PR spin. Billie Jean's music was almost audible as she moonwalked out of responsibility. Presenting Ariel Atkins, who reportedly was selected to serve as Angel's defense lawyer. In the locker room, Ariel stepped up and gave her speech, which was heavy on the crown. As said by Ariel, Angel is only 23 years old and bearing the weight of the entire globe.
The crown is heavy, and the head is heavy.
This wasn't a slip.
The tongue.
This talk was Ted. Angel meant it, and everyone knows that. Is it appropriate to apologize? Ariel is attempting to maintain order, but half of the locker room is sitting there saying things like, "Yeah, but she literally said my name." There is no miscommunication there. It is an ambush.
Her entire team feels attacked by her from comments that she made in a Chicago Tribune article. This is what Front Office Sports is reporting. According to the report, Reese said she doesn't believe her teammates Rachel Bannum or Hailey Vanleth are capable of leading a playoff team. Guard Ariel Atkins is another player on the Sky's roster with WNBA championship experience.
The worst part is about to come. League executives are expressing what supporters whispered throughout the season. Angel Reese wouldn't even be the biggest star on a legitimate championship squad. She would rank as a 3rd or 4th choice. In other words, not the rook, not the queen, and not even the knight. Although she is useful, she is not the focal point. As though she were carrying the league on her back, she is now calling for reinforcements at the all-star level. The Sky are currently trapped in this strange limbo. After they handed Angel the keys, she crashed the car, blamed the tires, the mechanic, and finally the man who constructed the route, rather than bringing the franchise back to prominence. The front office currently must play damage control, arranging awkward team sessions in which participants side-eye one another and seem to be forgiving and the changing area. While all of this mayhem is going on, Caitlin Clark, the other party to this alleged rivalry, is merely attempting to calmly heal her groin. While Angel Reese is out here slapping people, disparaging teammates, and moonwalking through the press, she is sitting at home, perhaps drinking tea, and tending to her ailment. This rivalry was intended to be the Allie versus Frazier of basketball. Instead, everything is overshadowed by injuries, suspensions, and locker room intrigue, making it into a soap opera.
Guys, Angel Reese roasted the Chicago Sky as a whole, as an organization, as a staff, a collective, and a crew so bad to the point where it actually gave them some motivation into.
Yes. Here we are, then. A rivalry that doesn't exist. A celebrity who believes she is the franchise's savior but is unable to save herself locker room. A 9-30 squad that has more drama than wins. And a commissioner who saw the league fall apart into a comedy act after believing that this matchup would save it. Better players are not needed by the Chicago Sky. A therapist is required. They don't require reconstruction. They require a contract for a reality show. And Angel Reese has demonstrated one thing. She will always have the league buzzing, whether it's on the court or in the locker room. Here's the issue with this, though: arranged a team meeting in the main office. It contained less team-building activities and more HR involvement prior to a lawsuit being filed. Imagine it. A franchise representative says, "Okay, let's share how it made us feel," as a group of athletes sat in a circle in folding chairs. Hailey Vanliff, who recently graduated from college and was promoted as a Disney princess with a jump shot, had to come to terms with the fact that her own teammate believed she couldn't win anything more significant than a holiday tournament when Angel Reese called her washed. Rachel Bannum, who is already made fun of on WNBA Twitter whenever she shows up for a game, had to hear her name directly brought up in the controversy. This was not a critique. Under the pretext of honesty, this was targeted shade.
The ironic thing about the Indiana Fever and the Sky is that the WNBA commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, she started this thing called Rivalry Week, of which the parameters pretty much put the Sky and the Indiana Fever as rivals, and obviously the two players being the rivals are Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese has actually only played one game against the Fever, and she missed 2 games due to a back injury, and this will be her 3rd game that she misses against the Indiana.
The tour of apologies follows. The way you guys act is usually convenient and predictable, even though I didn't mean it that way to end basketball. It's the equivalent of when a famous person tweets something unpleasant and then shares a snapshot of their notes app 12 hours later, along with the words, "I'll do better." Angel Reese abruptly changed the subject and discussed how her remarks were misunderstood before even waiting for the weekend. Correct? Considering that addressing your teammates by name, position, and one major misconception is the expiration date. As if she believed she was placing an order at a restaurant and instead, she unintentionally burned her crew. Let's now discuss Ariel Atkins, who serves as this operation's human shield. Perhaps the reason the crown's so heavy is due to the accumulation of missed defensive rotations and turnovers each week.
Just in, Angel Reese is just back to being Angel Reese. No mistake about it. She can come out and say that she apologizes for the way that people took the comments that she made, but her comments were pretty...
You could put this irony on toast because it's so thick. Angel Reese has left. Here, she is calling for exceptional players to surround her while also reducing the number of potential participants. Since your own teammate might disparage you in the press before you've even tied your sneakers, what star-free agent wants to enter a locker room? It's similar to enrolling in a reality show without the glamour squad or the money. Bless their hearts, the Chicago Sky front office also likely believed that signing Angel Reese would be a marketing cinch. Sales of tickets, sales of jerseys, and talk on social media. They received the basketball equivalent of a Bravo reality show instead. In the press, teammates are subtweeting one another. Conferences, coaches 5 years old every postgame, and veterans side-eyeing rookies. This is a soap opera with a shot clock, not a team. Tyler Marsh should also not be disregarded. The poor man, a bright-eyed rookie head coach, likely believed he would arrive, implement some impressive offensive schemes, and gradually create a winning culture. Rather, he inherited a 9-30 catastrophe, had his own player openly challenge his authority, and now gets to oversee group therapy sessions in the locker room. It resembles being employed as a cook in a financially troubled restaurant only to find that the waitstaff is tossing dishes at one another and the kitchen is on fire.